Hi, my name is Dr. Robert Preeb, and I am the creator of the blog entitled Parks Are Like Icebergs. I explore contemporary planning issues of the day, contemporary parks issues of the day, and where those two areas intersect. I do this using my 30 plus years of urban planning experience in the parks world, as well as my recently concluded academic research into parkland decision making in the Edmonton area from 1960 to 2010. So today's ice sculpture, today's vlog, is talking about pickleball of all things. Now, pickleball is one of those activities that is growing in popularity and use. New pickleball courts are being introduced across North America, one of the fastest growing activities across North America. It's a great activity. I'm a big supporter of pickleball, gets people of all ages out into their park sites and into their recreational facilities where they may do indoor pickleball courts. So I'm all about the pickleball. I'm all about getting people out into their communities, talking with their neighbors and exercising and whatnot. So pickleball is a great activity, but it is also, by its nature, it tends to displace, because it's new, it displaces an existing use. So if there's a sports field, community garden, playground, passive area, it's displacing something, another activity, which, so what is necessary then is a good process to vet whether a particular development in a particular area is appropriate, meets the needs of the community. Because you could be replacing another very important need in the community, and as such, maybe you need to move it to another site or another portion of the site. So pickleball is the subject matter, so to speak. But one of the things, and I've seen in the press the term NIMBY being tossed around, in particular as it relates to NIMBY, but it got me thinking about a change more broadly for the community and how that is conceptualized and reviewed and vetted and by the community. And so, and quite often change, those who are opposed to change are described as being NIMBYs, which is not in my backyard. Nope, don't want it there because it impacts me personally. I think that's a gross simple oversimplification of what may be going on in terms of a reaction to process. So I'm using pickleball as an example, but not so much a case study of a particular site, but I'm looking at processes that can be used to introduce a new activity into a neighborhood in ways that allows the real challenge, the real problems with a particular development in a particular site, how we can understand it better and maybe mitigate it on the site, move it to another part of the site, or maybe even move it somewhere else. So what we need is, excuse me. So to me, this is all about process, and the NIMBY charges are, I think, an oversimplification, and we need good process to minimize the spread of NIMBY terminology whenever somebody opposes development. So, and this is where I think parks can be used as a means to inform more broadly changes to urban land uses. Now, in my vlog, I first kind of set the table. What are the issues related to change, and particularly what are the issues? How is the term NIMBY defined? And then I propose a processes that would allow any kind of land use change, be it pickleball or otherwise, to determine, does there need to be some modifications to the proposal in some way, shape, or form to make it more palatable to the community, acceptable to the community, that addresses their needs, not just simply because they're being selfish. So, and then I leave you with kind of a concluding section where, and quite often that when we talk about NIMBY, it's about impersonal self-interest. And as I say, I think that's an oversimplification. But the corollary to NIMBY in the view of the development world is YIMBY, yes, in my backyard. So really what these are both sides of the same coin, which is development coin, right? Pun only partially intended there. So it's either we don't want it because we don't want development, or we want it, or YIMBY is yes, we want it because there is development. So they're both development related concepts. Where I think, and quite often this is in land use change processes where there's a binary proposed, and one side win, one side loses. Whereas I'm proposing some new planning nomenclature called SIMBY, which is community is my backyard. And the difference is I think we need to approach change processes from a community engagement, community development perspective at the micro level, understand the implications of change on the community, as opposed to a land use change process where basically says we have this, it's a land issue. It's this use versus another use, whereas there's a broader context around which that change impacts the community. So I encourage you to read below, and I hope this makes sense to you. Thank you.